For this exercise in this debugging chapter, I'm going to create a simple program with a couple of bugs and then demonstrate how to find those bugs and fix them. So let's get started by writing the program. We're going to call this program max.rb because we're going to use it to find the maximum value. So first I'm just going to write the program. Let me do that first. Now, you may have already seen a couple of the problems with this program. Let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. Well, obviously, it should have already stopped by now. So the first thing that we see is that we have a program that's in some sort of infinite loop, perhaps. So let's stop the program by hitting Control-C, and then let's open it up with the debugger and see if we can figure out what's wrong. First, I'll list out the program to see all the lines, and then I'm going to step through, and each time I step through, after I get into the loop, that's where I'm the most interested. All right, here I've gone a couple of lines through. I want to display the POS variable, because that's the variable that is intended to take us through the collection of numbers. And right there, I see the problem right off the bat. The program has been through the while loop 3 times, and we can tell that by the if statements. Here we see 3 if statements, so that indicates we've been in the body of the loop 3 times, yet the value of POS is still 1. So if I go back and look at my program listing, I see one problem. One problem with the program is that I'm not incrementing POS at the end of the loop before the next iteration. So we can fix that by quitting, going back to our program, and add a statement to increment POS by 1. So we'll save the program, run it again. Let's clear the screen. All right, so now we're out of the loop, but now we have another problem. The error message is undefined method greater than for nil class. Now, again, it's hard to tell from that message what the problem is. So let's load the debugger again. And let's begin stepping through a few times here. POS is 3, max is 2. So let's step again. Now we have a record of POS and max. Now POS is 6, max is 3, and then it stops. The debugger is only going to help to a certain extent with this problem, but if we go back and check, let's look at the program again, and think about the list of numbers. 1 is in the 0 position, 3 is in the first, 4 is in the second, 6 is in the third, 2 is in the fourth, and 5 is in the fifth, yet our POS value is 6. That means that we've actually gone beyond the end of the list, or beyond the set of numbers to a nil value, and that's where the nil class error message came from. Let's see if we can still see that. We can't, but if we run it again without the debugger, we'll see the error message right here, nil class, nil. Now, if we go back and look at the program, clearly what's happened is we've let the value of POS get too large. And if you'll look closely, you'll see that that is because we're allowing it to be up to the length of nums. What we really wanted to do was stop it 1 less. So if we change this to less than, instead of less than or equal to, save the file, let's clear the screen, and run it again, you'll see that our maximum value this time is displayed as 6. So unfortunately, your debugging problems won't always be as easy as these were. But with the debugger tools that Ruby provides you, and hard work and some intuition, with some practice, you should become a very good debugger, although hopefully you won't have to use those skills all that often. So that wraps up this exercise, and that wraps up this chapter on debugging.